Have you ever taken a long time to get something done because you just wanted to get it done just right, just to find out that even your very, very best effort, quite often, it falls short of the thing being perfect. So you have a tendency just not to do anything because you're like, man, I just want to get this. Once I get this thing done right, once I get this thing perfected, then I go ahead on and put it on out into the marketplace. I go ahead on and let people see my skill set. Go ahead on and put my best energy into it. Go ahead on and release it. Well, I want to talk to you today. And I want to talk to you in this video about, first of all, the fact that there is no such thing as consistent perfection with anybody because everybody is flawed. And if you want to wait until you can do things exactly right, then you're going to be waiting the rest of your life because that's not possible for you and that's not possible for me. But what I want to encourage you to do is I want to encourage you to give you a perfect imperfection. In other words, I want to show you today 3 ways to just give your very best in whatever it is that you're doing so that you can get the best results possible. Best results possible. All right. So everybody put BRP in the chat and let's get this party started. I'm going to show you today how to get the best results possible. All right. Everybody got that? BRP. All right. Let's start the party off like that. Say, Brother Ricky, I got a lot of things I want to do in my life, but I'm a perfectionist. When I hear people say that stuff, I'm like, first of all, you're lying because there ain't a human being on earth that was perfect other than Jesus Christ. So you're lying. And why are you lying? Because who are you trying to impress? Listen, people have been sitting on the sideline waiting to get in the game. And sometimes they sit on the sideline until they put you on the eternal sideline. You hear what I'm talking about? You hear what I'm saying? Y'all hear me? Everybody put NES in the chat. No eternal sideline for me. Everybody put NES in the chat. Did y'all hear what I said? No eternal sideline. Go ahead. Put NES in the chat. You say, why? Because some people, they're just resting in their nest. They what? No eternal sideline. Because most of the people I meet during the course of a week in a year that I teach how to do things, most of them don't do it. You say, are you talking? Ricky, I thought you said you was a really good teacher. Well, I think I'm a pretty good teacher, but that don't mean that most people you meet gonna do what you taught. Why? Because most people still on the sideline. I've met people who I started online with, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And we started bringing our products online, selling things, talking to people. And we first met each other. Most of the people I met online, I met them because I went to Myron Golden's challenge, who taught me how to do challenges. And so, when we first met, that was 2020. We met in 2019 at a function in Nashville, Tennessee. But we didn't start doing these challenges to 2021. So, the first week after I took Myron's challenge, I did a challenge. I had a challenge the next week. Was it perfect? I'm gonna put HN in the chat, and I want y'all to figure out what I'm talking about. I said was the first challenge I did. Was it perfect? All right, I'm gonna put HN in the chat. Y'all figure out what I'm talking about. All right. I said I'm just gonna put HN in the chat. My first challenge I did. Was it perfect? Hell no, it wasn't perfect. You say, why you say that? I say because I was messing stuff up. You hear me? But I did it. Why? Because I gave it my perfect imperfection. I did it as good as I could possibly do it for doing the first one. All right. So on my first perfect challenge I ever did, we earned $13,000. Everybody put 13K in the chat. Are you hearing me? As bad as the challenge was, now listen to this. We made $13,000 in our first challenge. And I didn't really know what I was doing. All right. I was doing what I thought I saw. I was doing what I thought. I was mimicking what I thought, the way Myron was teaching. I was mimicking, to the best of my ability. I was doing it. I was giving it my perfect imperfection. Are y'all hearing me? So $13,000 though. I'm talking about messing up in 1 week. Are you hearing me? And I dig this. You say, well, you got at least one person in your challenge to sign up with you, Ricky. Dig this. The person that signed up to get a trust with me and to work with me for a year when I gave him this like discount to work with me for a year, he he wasn't even in a challenge. He was like, "Well, I missed your challenge. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I still want to get down with you with this common law because I've been in meetings for 7 years and I don't know how to do none of this stuff." He said, "Don't nobody know how to do what you're doing." He said, "So, I just want to get a trust." And I ended up saving the man all kind of money when he sold a little mini mansion. Saved him all. He would have paid like 50,000 in income taxes. And I saved him all that money. He didn't pay nothing in income taxes, zero when he sold his house because he put it in a trust first and he sold it. So really, really, he paid himself to pay me. But what's my point? My point is that the first challenge was not good. I had like 3, 4 different offers for people. It was very confusing. It wasn't like what I had been taught, but it was because I just had been watching something, but I didn't really know how to do it yet because most people, the problem with most of us is that somebody teaches us what to do. And we really think we got it without doing it. I mean, we really think we got it without doing it. So when we finally get around after all that procrastinating to try and actually put into practice what it was somebody taught us, quite often we so far behind and got it so mixed up and stuff until when we try it, we are so disappointed. Are you hearing me? So disappointed until we say, "Oh man, that stuff don't work." I'm like, "Listen to me, brother. Listen to me, sister. It ain't the stuff that don't work. It's what? It's you that don't work." Did you hear what I said? Why? Because you ain't working. Why ain't you working? Because you're trying to get it perfectly right. And then you had a nerve to be upset when it's wrong the first time or the second time or maybe the 16th time. You had a nerve to be upset. I'm like, why are you upset when you gave your very best? Nobody should be upset when they give their very best. The only thing that should keep you upset is when you do something, you know that this is mediocre because this is not my best. Are you hearing me? So people who say that stuff, that I'm a good morning, D'Amico. How you doing? So people who say that stuff about they're perfectionists and all that, I'm like, what you really are is an excuse maker, and you really are a procrastinator, and you on an eternal sideline. I mean, you're on the sideline now, and eventually they're gonna bury your butt, and that means you're gonna be on the sideline forever. I don't know about you, but it don't make no sense to die twice. All right, are you hear what I'm talking about? Are you listening? No dying twice. Everybody put NDT in the chat. NDT. Come on, y'all. Let's just die one time. Ain't one time enough? Good morning, Claudia. How you doing, dear? All right, everybody put NDT in the chat. NDT. Good morning, Sean. How you doing? All right. NDT. Come on, everybody. Let's go. NDT. Come on, let's go. Elmer, I speak no two deaths into your life. All right. Port Lock, I speak no two deaths into your life. Sunshine, I speak no two deaths into your life. Are you hearing me? Antoinette, I speak no two deaths into your life. Javon, I speak that you shall live now and not be the walking dead. Deborah, I speak no two deaths into your life. Loretta, I speak over your life. You shall live and not die. Loving GJC, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. Helene, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. Patty, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. Dr. Lynch, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. Al, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. Eagle, the creator, I speak life into your life. You shall live and not die. You shall live out your life. I speak it into your life. Listen to me, brother, sister. I speak into your life that you shall live out your life and that you shall live while you're alive. All right? Did you hear what I said? I speak into your life that you shall live while you're alive. You should not have two deaths in this life. Are you listening to me? Why? Because you've made up your mind that what? That you're going to stop sitting on the sideline trying to get everything perfect, wasting your precious time, wasting your kids' precious time, wasting your wife, husband, spouse, wasting your spouse's precious time, wasting your business colleagues' precious time, and wasting God's precious time trying to be a perfect individual when there is no such thing. But you can be perfectly imperfect, meaning that you can spend all your days giving your very best shot, in your very best shot, you can live with that. Are you hearing me? So it's three areas that I want to talk to you about. Three areas I want to talk to you about today to become perfectly imperfect in. All right. But before we go into these three areas, we will be teaching today in um, in 1 hour. Well, not a whole hour, but at 10 o'clock a.m. at 11 o'clock Eastern. I'll be teaching my International Monetary Fund class for those of y'all who want to know how to 1099 a bank and do what we do. And it's absolutely free, and it's today. So if you're interested in coming, you can simply put IMF in the chat if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram. Just put the letters IMF and come on over and you can meet us in person in our private Zoom, and we'll teach you on what it is that we're doing. And if you're not on Facebook or Instagram, you can go to rickthewealthcoach.com and just click on the free class. All right. You're good on you're right. Yeah, on Instagram, y'all good. You should have a link already. Okay. Facebook, you're good. You should have a link already. TikTok, you need to go to rickthewealthcoach.com, and YouTube, go to rickthewealthcoach.com. Okay. So there are three areas that I'd like to talk to you about becoming perfectly imperfect. Number one, I'd like to talk to you about marriages, whether you're married, like legally married by the state, or if you're just in love with somebody and you all are together. Okay. I'd like to talk about marriages for a second. I think the number one reason why marriages crumple and fail is because people don't have upfront expectations. All right. So everybody put UE in the chat. Upfront expectations. All right. UE, upfront expectations. You say, Brother Ricky, my marriage is on the rocks. Or my relationship is on the rocks. Bro, I just don't think we're gonna make it. Well, let me back that thing up, all right? And let me help you, okay? Let's all help each other. Let's just put it that way. One of the reasons why it's so hard for people to get along is because they haven't expressed up front what their expectations are. So when you don't express what your expectations are up front, then people do a whole lot of stuff that you don't like. Why? Because they didn't know you didn't like it. Are you hear what I'm saying? All right, let me get it to you one more time. All right. Here's a problem with people when they get together, they get married, and are in a serious relationship with somebody. Here's the number one problem. The number one problem is that people have expectations, but they don't express them. All right. Express your expectations. All right. EYE. All right. All right. Come on. Let's spell it. It's the word I. Okay. Everybody put I in the chat. EYE. Express your expectations up front. All right, come on. I ain't gonna teach y'all nothing else until I see at least everybody got at least one eye open. All right, let's go. EYE, come on. I ain't teaching y'all nothing else. I'm waiting. Excuse me. I'm waiting. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm waiting on y'all. All right. Everybody, I got my eye on you. EYE. Come on, Loretta, express your expectations. Come on, Sheila, express your expectations. Salid, express your expectations. All right, Junior, express your expectations. Musa, express your expectations. All right. Tressavon, express your expectations. Elma, express your expectation. Michael, express your expectations. You say, Brother Rick, every time I express an expectation, I get shot down. It's better that you get shot down for expressing an expectation than you end up shooting somebody because they violate your expectations. Do you understand how violent how people get so mean and angry and upset with one another? I mean, to the point that they don't even want to be around each other no more when all that stuff could have been taken care of, because they need to understand, man, you're dealing with an imperfect person. Why can't you understand that when you're imperfect? Are you listening to me? I said, why can't you understand that you're dealing with an imperfect person? Already knowing that you're imperfect. I mean, ain't nobody no different from you. All them imperfections you got, all those imperfections I got. Why is it that when somebody else do something imperfect, it's like the whole world stopped? And I'm telling you why we overreact. All right. So everybody put NO in the chat. Come on now. No overreactions. Come on, everybody put NO in the chat. Okay. I'm teaching y'all 3 ways today, 3 areas of your life today, in my life too, for that matter, where we can become extremely effective. Why? We just admit that we ain't perfect. All right. However, we want to be perfectly imperfect, meaning that I already know I ain't perfect. I already know I'm flawed. So what? I'm gonna have to at least get the best of my flawed self. I don't think y'all understand. You can't be holding out on the best that you got when the best that you got still ain't perfect. Are y'all listening to me? That's why we have all this overreacting. That's why people can't stay married. That's why people get divorced. That's why relationships crumble so fast. Why? Because a person started doing something and you're like, what the hell is going on around here? Don't you know how crazy that is what you're doing? And they like, I ain't know, I don't even know what you're talking about. To them it seemed normal, but to you it seemed crazy. Why? Because you never expressed what you don't like. You never expressed what you expect. How you expect somebody to know what your expectation is, and you don't express it? And then how in the world you gonna get so mad and angry with the person when they do the thing that you don't like and don't appreciate, and all they doing is just being their imperfect self? I hear what I'm talking about. To you, it's crazy. To you, it's like you like Mike Tyson. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. Everybody ought to be able to know that don't make no sense. No, no, no. What makes sense to you and what makes sense to the person that you're in love with quite often can be different as night and day. But how do you know if you've never expressed what you don't like to somebody? All right, listen to me. Tell people what you like and tell them what you don't like. Tell them what you expect and tell them what you don't expect. Tell them what's negotiable. Tell them what is non-negotiable. What up front? Are you hearing me? All of you are that's contemplating getting married. Have some candid conversations with the person that you're in love with or that you think you're in love with. All right. And just let them know, hey, here's some things that are cool with me. And here's some things that I absolutely positively cannot live with. All right. But you tell me the same thing about you. I want y'all to read the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Okay. I want y'all to read his book, The Compound Effect. All right. I'm going to put it in the chat. The Compound Effect. All right. This book is a really good book. When I first started really, really getting disciplined back in 2016, when I first started doing real estate and started making some money and, started making some money, I really became an independent man, never had to work for nobody else since 2016. Thank you, Jesus. All right. And I started developing some good habits. And I started reading books outside of the Bible of people who had really good habits. And one of the best people on the whole planet Earth, as far as doing habitual behavior, is Darren Hardy. All right. Darren Hardy knows how to get the most perfection out of his imperfection. I mean, he's really good. He's a really good teacher. He has a couple of classes that would be good to take. One is called Insane Productivity. It's really good. All right. And another one is called The Hero's Journey. I've taken both of them. All right. And I've read his book, and I just read his book, but studied his book. And then I started creating my own habits based on some of the habits that he taught me in his book. All right. Because Darren Hardy is the former publisher of Success Magazine. And he has his own personal development company. And he's really good. I mean, he's really smart. All right. Really at a really, really high level. And he trains people clear across the world. Excuse me. He trains people clear across the world. And he's like pretty much the most influential business people in the world. And Darren trains a lot of the most influential business people in the world. There's nobody that's in business that if they heard Darren Hardy was on the phone, they wouldn't answer their phone. Hardly nobody. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett or anybody that you can think of that's got some paper. They'll holler at Darren Hardy because he got some really good habits and he teaches people how to run dynasties and stuff habitually. All right. So he said before he got married, though, what he did, he said he took out a sheet of paper. He said he wrote down everything that he wanted in a wife. I mean, he said he said he wrote everything. So I wanted to be this tall. I wanted to have hair of this texture. I wanted, her voice to be like this. I want her shape to be like that. I want her demeanor to be like this. I mean, he was extremely explicit about what he wanted, about what his expectations. And he wrote them down and put them on paper. All right. So then he said, after he wrote out all the stuff that he wrote, he said he turned around and he wrote down a paper 10 times longer than that about everything that he needed to be for that type of person that he expected to show up in his life. And I thought that made so much sense. I was like, because you shouldn't expect things from other people that you ain't willing to give. It's just not realistic to be having high expectations of a person, but then having a low threshold for what you want to give. Whenever you meet a human being, the first idea is, I don't want you to outgive me. All right. In any kind of relationship, we got two more we're going to talk about. The first one is marriage, but I don't want you to outgive me. Okay. I don't want to be on the receiving end of all this stuff. And I'm not giving you what you're giving me and more. He said, so when he wrote down everything he wanted from out of a wife, he said he wrote down 10 times more things for what he needed to be in order to be attractive enough for that type of wife to want him. Are y'all hear what I'm talking about? Everybody put DA in the chat. Okay. DA. In other words, everything is about double attractiveness. Okay. Are you hearing me? I ain't teaching y'all nothing else until we get some DAs up in here. All right. I'm teaching y'all 3 reasons today, or 3 ways, 3 areas of your life that you can become amazingly, imperfectly perfect in. All right. Because ain't none of us perfect. And it's a pursuit of futility. Ain't none of us gonna never be perfect. Are you hearing me? It ain't even required. But what is required is your best effort. My best effort, your best effort. It is required. It is God's expectation of me and you as what? As the kingdom's kids. You know, he expects us to behave. Are you listening to me? With the people that we come in contact with. And he expects us to have high expectations of people around us. Oh, yes, he does. But he expects us to have a higher expectation of ourselves. All right. Self high expectations. All right. Come on, let's put it in the chat. SHE. All right. I hear what I'm talking about. I don't care if you're a he today, you need to be a she. What? Self high expectations. Come on. Are you listening to me? You want everything out of everybody else, right? I said you want everything out of everybody else, right? Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you having high expectations of people. You should, but you should have higher expectations of yourself. Are you hear what I'm talking about? I said you should have self high expectations. Come on, Patty. I speak into your life self high expectations. Come on, Bishop. I speak into your life self high expectations. Greg, I speak into your life a higher attaining of things for yourself. Sheila, I speak into your life higher standards into your own life. Are you listening to me? Zante, I speak higher self expectations of yourself. Are you listening to me? Patty, yes, I speak it into your life. You know what's going to happen to you? You know what's going to happen to you? Junior, I speak it into your life. You know what's going to happen? You're going to be less disappointed by what happens around you because you're going to be so much more excited about what's happening in you. Okay. Can I run that by you one more time? All right. You're going to be a lot less disappointed about what's going on around you because you're going to have so much more time enjoying what's going on inside of you. All right. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Are you listening to me? Inside joy. Everybody put IJ in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Inside joy. It's nothing that gives you more joy than setting expectations of yourself and meeting them. Did you hear what I said? Oh, come on, everybody put inside joy. Come on, don't y'all want some joy inside? Ain't you tired of having to get all your joy from the outside? Come on, IJ. Inside joy. Come on, let's get some inside joy, Patty. Come on, Zena. Let's get some inside joy. Come on, Sheila. Let's get some inside joy. Come on, Jerry. Let's get some inside joy. Linnell, let's get some inside joy. Come on, let's get some joy that can't nobody do nothing with. Are you hearing me? All right, listen what I'm telling Ezekiel, let's get some inside joy. Zelrak, let's get some inside joy. All right. Pastor Yvonne, let's get some inside joy. Okay, let's get some inside. Come on, Cam. Let's get some inside joy. All right, Zante, I see you. Let's get some inside joy. Come on, Faye. Let's get some inside joy. Are you hearing me? Are you hear what I'm talking about? Greg, come on. Let's get some inside joy. Joy, joy, what? God's great joy. Joy, joy, where? Down in my soul, sweet, beautiful, soul saving joy. Oh, joy down in my soul. Yeah. You know what? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. And I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see joy, joy. What? It ain't no joy unless it's from the inside. Joy is different. Joy got nothing to do with the outside. Joy is only produced inside. It's an inside job. Are you listening to me? Inside joy, inside job. And can't nobody control it because it didn't come from the outside. You know what it came from? It came from high expectations, personal expectations. And then fulfilling your personal expectations. What? To yourself. Are you hearing me? This way, you won't walk around all frustrated about what you expect out of other people because you're like, listen, even if the people around me are not doing the things that I expect them to do, they can't steal my joy because I'm doing the things that I expect to do. Are y'all hearing what I'm talking about? Are y'all listening to me? Do I have a church this morning? Somebody put amen in that chat if we got a church. I feel like teaching today. I feel anointing. Anybody feel like developing, joy development? Anybody feel like that? See, because you're married and you still got to be joyful, even if you ain't getting what you expect from the person you're married to. Are y'all listening? I'm teaching you three things to do what? I'm teaching you three things to be perfectly imperfect in. In marriage, it's very important that you thrive as a person and still be the best person you can be, even if you ain't get what you expect in your marriage. Are you hear what I'm talking about? At least get what you expect from you. You can't control the person you're married to, but you can control you. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And you can influence the person that you're married to. Why? Because they see that you meet your own expectations. And that's a tough thing for another person to be involved with you and not want to raise up their game if they see how you raise up your game. Why? Because most of the things that happen in a marriage are not just the verbal words that you say, but it's how a person observes what? Your consistency in behavior and how you behave. And how even when y'all are at odds with one another, even though you don't like what's going on at that particular time, they still see that you would have this consistently good attitude, temperament, and disposition about life, regardless of how they act, because you cannot control another human being, but you can influence somebody, and you can have amazing influence on people if they see your inside joy because of your inside job, working on your inside joy because of you actually doing the things that you expect out of you. And it's a tough thing to stay in a relationship with somebody who has high expectations, reach their goals, and be a bum in that relationship. It's hard. It's really hard for two. It's hard for the second person to maintain that type of what? Stubbornness. Are you listening to me? Where they don't want to what? Put no skin in the game. Where they don't want to raise their own personal standards about how they're doing stuff. It's hard for that to happen. Jesus told Paul, when Paul met Jesus, Paul was like, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Jesus Christ of Nazareth, whom you persecuting, bruh." He said, "It's hard for you to kick against the pricks. It's hard for you to fight against the truth. It's hard for you to deny who I am. It's hard for you to look up here and see how I get down and how we reach our goals and our objectives. It's hard for you to see how we run this kingdom, and you trying to fight the thing that make the most sense for you to be doing." In other words, it's hard for you to make it going against the highest way of doing things. And Paul was like, "Man, what you want me to do?" Y'all got that? Paul was like, "What you want me to do?" You see what I'm saying? See, God loves us so much until when he can see us fighting the highest level of doing things, the best way of doing something, when he can see it, he loves us so much until sometimes he just have to pimp slap us. Pa-pow, bam! Like he smacked Paul. He smacked the what? He smacked the devil out of Paul. Paul got up off that ground, boy. He was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm talking about? You say, "I don't know what you're talking about." Read the Bible. Go to Acts the 9th chapter and read it on your own and watch how Jesus dealt with Paul. He raised Paul's expectations, and then he helped Paul start his perfectly imperfect life. Are you hearing me? Paul admitted that he was imperfect. He said, "You know what?" He said, "I don't count myself to have arrived. He said, and I don't, it's not like, I'm all that in a bag of chips. He said, in fact, I'm less than the least of the saints. He said, because I persecuted the church of God. He said, but all the stuff that I used to do that I thought was the bomb diggity. He said, I count it as dung. In other words, mess, and like you flush down a toilet. He said, and now I'm just happy about having the privilege of being able to love God and to suffer for his cause. He said, so my expectation now is just for me to have some inside joy. And whatever happens to me as a result of serving this awesome God, just so be it. Because I'm just going to press towards the mark of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. He said, for whom I've suffered the loss of all things. He said, but I don't count it nothing but dung. Why? He said, because this life is so beautiful. And to even all of the suffering and all of the what? And all of the anguish and woe that I have to go through on this side of the tracks is so much more joyful than when I was held in high esteem by these Pharisees, because they ain't fair, you see, and all these little religious zealots, you dig, and these murderous marks that I was kicking it with. You say, now that I got good sense, now that I got the love of Jesus Christ inside of me and this joy and this peace, you say, wherever it take me, whatever I have to go through, so be it. All right, that's what amen means. So be it. All right. So he's like, cool. I'm all right with all that. Why? He said, because now my expectations, what, is for me to do the best I can do. All right. And everybody else that comes around me, hopefully they'll watch the example and it'll make them want to step their game up. In the meantime, I'll let them know what I'm putting up with, what I ain't putting up with, and we can get along as well as we can get along based on them understanding what my expectation is. But my number one expectation is I have high expectations of my personal behavior, higher than any expectation I have of anybody else's behavior. Are y'all listening to what I'm talking about? I said, I put a 1 in the chat if that just helps your blood pressure to go down. Mine just went down a little bit. All right. Put a 1 in the chat. I said, put a 1 in the chat if your blood pressure just went down. Okay. Get high expectations of yourself. Then make them higher than everybody around you, and your blood pressure go down. See what I say? I speak low blood pressure to your life. All right. All right, Levine. I speak what? Moderate blood pressure to your life. Pastor Yvonne, I speak low blood pressure to your life. You ain't gonna have no heart attack while you preaching there. All right. Antoinette, I speak. Come down, come down. Come on, Greg. I'm talking. Come on. I speak calmness into your life. Come on. Anybody else need to get rid of some of this franticness that's going on with you? Come on, Millionaire Barbara. I speak a calmness over you. All right. Anybody else feeling some peace right now? I speak a calmness over you, Renetta. All right. Linnell, I speak a calmness over you. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I rebuke them spirits that are trying to subdue you. I rebuke that franticness in your life that's trying to mess your health up. Are y'all hear what I'm talking about? Kim, I speak a calmness into your life. Brother Scotty, I speak a calmness into your life. Why? Because I can see your expectations going up of you first. And you want your expectation of you to exceed your expectation of anybody that you have in a personal relationship with right now. That's going to help you to become a lot more calm. Why? Because you got 100% control over you. Are you listening to me? Control you first, and then influence the people around you. And yes, have high expectations of your husband. Have high expectations of your wife. Have high expectations of the person that you're in love with. Yes, you're in love with them. Yeah, y'all doing life and what? Yes, you should be accomplishing big things. Yes, you should have high expectations, what? Of one another, but you're not perfect. Are you hearing me? And what? But you can be perfectly imperfect. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So you say, so why is it like that with marriage? Okay. Number one, upfront expectations is the problem. Number two, if you really want to have a really good marriage, just have endless forgiveness. All right. You say, what? Endless forgiveness. All right. Everybody put EF in the chat. Okay. I'm talking about 3 areas of your life today that you can be perfectly imperfect in, but you can have an amazing life. Are you hearing me? You can absolutely give your best. It'll stop us from being so childish and holding out, making excuses about when things get perfect, then I jump in. Well, you ain't gonna never jump in. All right. Let me tell you something. That's a double Dutch rope that don't exist. Are you listening to me? You ain't finna jump in there and do no double Dutch in no perfect double Dutch rope because it don't exist. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I don't care what you see on TV. I don't care what you see in the news. I don't care what you see and you got to deal with life realistically. And realistically, you are a flawed human being, and so am I. And the person that you marry to is flawed, or the person that you consider him married is flawed. The biggest problem is that you don't talk about what you expect up front. Okay. And because you don't talk about what you expect up front, you get a whole lot of stuff that you did not expect because you did not discuss it. All right. Then the second problem that we have is when we start getting disappointed by what's going on with one another, we pout, withdraw, and be in the same house with somebody that we holding grudges against. When Jesus said to what? To be so forgiven until you forgive like this. Peter asked this question in the book of Matthew. Peter says, he came to Jesus in Matthew chapter 13, I believe this is, verse number 21. And he asked Jesus this question. He said, then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Because that's what the law has said. To forgive your brothers what? If he sin against you 7 times in a day, forgive him 7 times in a day. So let's see what Jesus said. Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. What's 70 times 7? 490? Everybody put 490 in the chat. Okay. I'll put 490T. In other words, this is how often we should forgive each other. 490 times a day. All right. Let me help you. Okay. I'm trying to teach you how to get the best out of your imperfection. Okay. Everybody put 490T in the chat. This is going to help you. Listen to me. Stop listening to Negroes. Listen to Jesus. Okay. Stop letting people make you feel dumb because you're so forgiving to your spouse. I'm talking about marriage right now. Okay. All right. And they like, man, I would never put up with nobody who did that to me. Well, he's like, well, you're not the standard that I follow to decide how I'm gonna forgive the person I'm married to or the person that you're in love with. All right. Don't listen to these Negroes. All right. They're not in your marriage. All right. They're not in your relationship. And most of the time they telling you this stuff because they not in no good relationship. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Most of the time. Most of the time when people are telling you to be unforgiving, it's because they're an unforgiving person. Are you listening to me? They got prunes in their jaws. They got rocks in their jaws. They mean spirited. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Misery love company, baby. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? And these people that's telling you to treat the person that you married to like they got to be perfect for you to get along with them. Most of the time, they ain't got no man or no woman themselves. I hear what I'm talking about? And they are amazingly imperfect themselves, trying to give you some advice to deal with people like they got to be perfect for you to continue your relationship with them. And I'm telling you, leave these demons alone. I hear what I'm talking about? Everybody put TD in the chat. Drop the demons, okay? They trying to get you to quit your relationship. You ought to drop that demon. All right, everybody put DDT in the chat. DTD. All right. Y'all got some demons need to be dropped, giving you this bad advice. I'm like, don't pay them devils no attention. Are you hearing me? I just don't want you to get along with the person that you with. And almost all the time, they ain't even with nobody. And if they are, they definitely ain't getting along, telling you to be unforgiving and trying to make you feel stupid because you forgive somebody. Don't listen to them. Drop them demons. Are you hearing me? Listen to God. God is trying to tell you how to have some peace. God is teaching you how to have some joy. God is teaching you reality. And reality is that you ain't going to be in no relationship with nobody that you ain't forgiven. And what the hell? They wouldn't be able to be around you for more than 15 minutes if they wasn't forgiving you. How in the world are you going to be an imperfect person and then be unforgiving? You got to be smoking some Snoop Doggy Dogg weed straight out of Long Beach, California. You must be on a weed farm. You must be raising cannabis. I hear me. Puff, puff, puff. You gotta be high. Hey, listen to me. Only a complete idiot will walk around with an unforgiving spirit. I'm telling you, that is so demonic. Are you hear what I'm talking about? It's so mean spirited. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's so mean to be walking around holding grudges against the person you in love with, married to, see every day. You're going to see somebody every day and be mad at them 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 out of 6 days. It is insanical to be in relationships like that. All because your expectations are not being met. And so you got to understand, even when you express your expectations, even when you upfront about it, and the person still do what you told them you don't like, you still got to be forgiven. You say, no, Ricky, they ought to know better now. All right, I done told them. You dig what I'm saying? I done told them how I get down. You hear me? You understand me? When you start talking out your nose, you know you got a demon. All right. Yeah. You got to be forgiven just to watch me with all the sinuses I got. And I got the nerve to be drinking a tall white chocolate mocha with soy milk and no whipped cream in it, knowing good and well before I even bought that mess this morning, knowing good and well it's going to have me on here blowing my nose half the time I'm talking to you. But what the hell? I like it. I just like the way it tastes. All right. And just be glad I'm on there teaching you something, blowing my nose at the same time. And do what? Forgive me. All right. How you gonna be married to somebody you ain't forgiven? Jesus said, Peter said, should I do it 7 times a day? Jesus said, try 490 times a day. All right. I don't know who you married to. And I don't know what kind of arguments y'all having right now. And I don't know how deep it is. But I guarantee you, you ain't forgiving nobody 490 times a day. So you ain't even met your quota. Are y'all listening to me? I want y'all to relax and understand that you ain't got to be running to divorce court because your little knucklehead friends, mean-spirited, demonic friends and homies and all people you know, all up in your business, telling you that I wouldn't put up with that if I was you. If I was you, I would leave. If I was you, I would do this and all that. You know, boy, you just let them know you ain't me. And what? I'm not obligated to do things the way it makes sense to you. And you ain't even biblical. You ain't even got a Bible verse or nothing to help give me some counsel on how I ought to be behaving. So the biggest counselor in the world is the Bible. How y'all running around here getting all this counsel from folk and all that sort of thing? I'm like, why don't you just read the Bible? Okay. And then the Bible will make it real plain to you how you ought to be acting and how you ought to treat each other. I'm not saying ain't no such thing as therapists and all that sort of thing, but I'm saying most of that stuff is a waste of time. Now, you hear what I'm talking about? Why? Because people just reluctant to just read the Bible and then just do what the Bible said and just live a simple life. Because when you get through with all that stuff, it's going to come down to one thing dealing with human beings in a relationship. You're going to have to be forgiven because most of you all didn't do the first part. You didn't come into a relationship expressing your expectations like Darren Hardy did when he met his wife, Georgia. Georgia, sweet Georgia. They've been getting along good for years. They dominating and killing the game, got great businesses and help people around the world and da. They got a good life. But that's because they let each other know what they wanted, what their expectation was. They ain't just stepping all on each other's toes. But then I'm sure they had to forgive each other plenty of times, even though, you know, they hit each other's spot, even though they suit one another's fancy, even though they happy with each other. Ain't nobody getting along, ain't nobody in no marriage that ain't got to forgive each other and forgive each other often. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Often forgiveness. All right. Everybody put OF in the chat. Okay. OF. Somebody say, what if they was Hindu? I got no idea what that question mean, Eden. Forgiving people ain't got nothing to do with the person. Forgiving people got to do with you. All right, that's the only answer I got for that. That's the only answer I have for that. Only answer I got for that is you got married to somebody, you ain't know what they was into. They might have been in all kind of cults and all kind of stuff. That's your fault. That's your. If you talking to somebody right now and they're in a cult, they don't believe the stuff you believe in. That ain't nobody's fault but yours. All right. You shouldn't have been so frantic for the booty, whatever the hell it is that charged you up. All right. Because men, we just love the way women look. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we be looking, we don't even be paying no attention to what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? You're out on a date with somebody, they spitting up green stuff, and you ain't see that was a red flag. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Their head started spinning around on their body all the way around, and their tongue come out like a lizard. You hear what I'm talking about? And then you look at their booty and you forgive everything. I'm not talking about that kind of forgiveness. All right. That's not the forgiveness I'm preaching. I'm not talking about you look at somebody and you can see they nutty as a box of rocks. Like, yeah, it'd be crazy as hell. And you look at the booty and you start talking about what the Lord said, forgive 70 times. So I ain't talking about booty forgive. Hey, everybody put N, B, F in the chat. No booty forgiveness. I'm not talking about that. All right. Everybody put N, B, F in the chat. No booty forgiveness. Oh yeah. Okay, keep going ahead on it and forgiving people just because they got a big butt and a smile. Keep it up. You're gonna be like Samson. Samson messing around with Delilah. Samson know Delilah crazy as hell. Samson know Delilah a hoe. The last woman he kicked it with before he met Delilah was a hoe. Samson loved hoes. Are you hearing me? Samson ain't had good sense. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Samson was chasing booty to just read the book of Judges and look at Samson. Samson was crazy as hell. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? He had a serious booty problem. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? And he would forgive a hoe in a second. Why? Because she had a big butt and a smile. Are you listening to me? He knew Delilah wasn't no good. This chick is leaning on him, stroking him every day, talking about, tell me where your strength at, Samson. Tell me where your strength at, Samson. Tell me why you playing with me? Why you playing with me? You know this girl's a hoe. You know, he know good and well he messing with a hoe. She ain't got good sense, but he liked that stuff. It was fun to him. It was like fun and games, playing with his life. Are you hear what I'm talking about? He knew the woman wasn't no good. Are you listening to me? He knew it. He knew the chick wasn't no good. He just kept forgiving what? It was booty forgiveness. I ain't got no church. I ain't got y'all too churchy now. Y'all too churchy now. Y'all too churchy now. Are you hearing me? That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that you talk to people that have character. You have character. They have character. That's why y'all got married in the first place. You just didn't talk enough up front about what the expectations were. So now people are doing things that are aggravating the hell out of you. All right. And it's causing you to what? Not want to be with them when what? You're going to have to learn how to forgive that because it's your fault that you wasn't up front in the first place. All right. And then here's the third way: constant forgiveness, often forgiveness. Thank God somebody's forgiven you. Have the same attitude back towards them. Stop running from one person to the next, expecting what? That things are going to be different when what? The onus of the problem is not on them. Most of the time it's on you because you're just an unforgiving, self-righteous type of person. And you want to need deliverance more than the person you call yourself trying to give some forgiveness to. All right. So that's the second thing. And then finally, this is the last thing about a marriage. And I got two more points. But marriage and relationships are so important. I can hardly get to the next 2 points. The last thing is constant communication. So never get tired of communicating with each other. It never gets old. All right. So I don't have time to go into that. Just make sure that y'all talk and make sure that you listen and make sure that you listen more than you talk. Okay. And you'll start finding out that a lot of the stuff that seems insurmountable in your relationships, it can be worked out. You'll find that out. I've been what? Me and Shantae had a lot of arguments. We broke up 3 times. So I'm not talking to you like Teflon Don, like some cat who just everything was hunky dory from the time he got married. No, we done been through hell and back, and we forgive each other a whole lot, and we are very effective. We have an amazing impact around the entire world because we just keep it real. We're like, hey, it ain't always. We still argue sometimes. Still sometimes. I don't like what she say. You dig? And I tell her I don't like that. And then sometimes just let her know that ain't gonna happen. You dig? You're gonna change your attitude about that. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm the man around here. We're not doing that. And sometimes we argue about it. You dig what I'm talking about? But we love each other. And we do what? We forgive each other. And then sometimes I do some stuff that aggravate her. You hear what I'm talking about? And she a kind person. So she'll forgive me for what I did to her. You hear what I'm saying? We have to forgive each other. Ain't nobody getting along that ain't forgiving each other. Get away from these reality shows and all this fake stuff that you see on TV. It ain't real. You hear what I'm talking about? Hey, listen to me. Don't measure yourself based on that stuff. Measure yourself based on the Bible so you can have some sanity. All right, let's move on from the marriages. The second thing is your mission. Okay. And by the way, excuse me. By the way, if you want to come to class, we're about to have class in about 10 minutes. So I'm about to take 5 minutes on these last 2. If you want to come to class, put IMF in the chat. If you want to come meet us on, if y'all don't know who we are, you want to know how you get your money back from the bank, you want to know how to do private stuff the way we do it. We have a class on that, and it's free, just to get you to learn who we are, what's going on, in case you want to know more. All right, so it's free, and it's going to start in 10 minutes. So put IMF in the chat if you're on Facebook. Put IMF in the chat if you're on Instagram, if you want to come to class. But if you're not on Facebook and you're not on Instagram, if you're on YouTube or if you're on TikTok, go to Rick rickthewealthcoach.com. Don't even waste your time. Just go to rickthewealthcoach.com. I got a website, so because the thieves be stealing y'all money acting like they us. But that's me. Okay. rickthewealthcoach.com. Go on there now and you can get you a ticket and it's free. All right. Matter of fact, you can take your link if you want to and send it to some of your friends and say, Brother Ricky about to teach his class on how to 1099 a bank. It's a free class. And you can share the link if you want to and tell your friends, say, I'll come on and meet Brother Ricky, the real cat, not the dudes that be faking like them fake 100 pages that we have. And that way you won't be getting tricked out of nothing. Just come and talk to us. I don't even want your money when I first meet you, especially because I don't know you. I just want you to come to a free class and learn how we operate. And then we can both decide whether it makes sense, because in that free class, we can be upfront about our expectations with each other. And then you can decide if it makes sense to you, whether you want to proceed any further. And I can decide whether it makes sense to me if I even want you to proceed any further. That's how relationships are built. All right. So we don't have fake relationships with people. We're very upfront about how we roll and how we get down. All right. So here's the last two things real quickly. Your mission. All right. So number two, in order for you to have a mission, excuse me, and you to really get the most out your mission, the number one thing about your mission is that you have to start your mission and basically spend the rest of your life moonwalking. All right. So everybody put MW in the chat. You say, what are you talking about? Moonwalking. What are you talking about? See, when you're doing something and this is your life, I mean, this is what you're on earth for. This is why God put you here. You got to sit up and look at that thing. And then as you work, don't go towards the thing, work from the thing backwards. You'll hear me teach this a lot. You see it in other videos that I've got too. This is how we live. This is why we are amazingly effective. See, if you moonwalk, okay, come on. Y'all need to know, some of y'all don't know how to moonwalk. You know, I found out yesterday in our training class with our inner circle members, we was just laughing, having fun. And I asked one of the young brothers, a young man named was Jacob. I said, Jacob, you can dance so good. Can you moonwalk? So he got up and did his moonwalk. And then my wife, Shantae, she's so silly. She a lot of fun. She said, oh, no. Let me show you how it go. And she got up and started moonwalking. I mean, for real. I was like, girl, I just found it out 13 years later. I ain't never seen you moon. Everybody put go Shantae in the chat. Everybody put go Shantae. Go Shantae. Everybody put go Shantae in the chat. Go Shantae, that's Chante. Go ahead, send a shout out to the queen right quick. Shantae can moonwalk. She started getting it, you hear me? So that shocked me. I wasn't ready for that. We was laughing, man. We had so much fun. So what's my point though? My point is you're on a mission, right? And when you're on a mission, if you'll look at the thing that you're doing, and then you'll start living your life every day, and everything that you're doing is staring at your mission, because you ain't looking to see if you're going forward towards the mission, then that's a problem, because then everything around you can distract you. And then you won't be perfectly imperfect. Why? Because everything will be distracting you. And then what? As soon as this comes up, that comes up, this comes up, that comes up, what? You'll lose sight of the mission. So what? You'll stop doing what you're doing. And then you won't ever really get good at the mission, because of all the distractions that are what? Stalling you from the mission. Then you'll start becoming really good at the distractions instead of really good at the mission. Are you hearing me? Hey, listen to what I'm talking about. Nobody's got a mission today and getting mission accomplished unless they what? Unless they are ignoring the distractions. So it's better to look at the mission every day and then get up and moonwalk backwards. Why? Because if you're moonwalking backwards, then you never take your eyes off the mission. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Back that thing up. All right. Did you hear what I said? I said back that thing up. Now what they say, you're a big bad woman. Won't you back that thing up? All right. I ain't got no church. Everybody put BIU in the chat. Back it up, baby. BA, BIU, yeah. Back it up there. Come on. Everybody put, they say, what university you go to, Brother Ricky? I say, I go to BIU. They say, what? I say, I go to BIU, baby. They say, where you go to school? I say, BIU. They say, what you talking about? Man, I back it up, baby. I back that thing up every day. I look at what it is that's important. And I'm like, I'm not going to let all the stuff distract me. I got to give my best. How am I going to get my best distracted? And I don't want to give my best to the distractions. Are you listening to me? Most people, the only thing they giving their best to is what's distracting them. And I'm like, no wonder you ain't getting your mission accomplished. Why? Because you just started what? Majoring in the minors. You just started making the distractions your mission. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? But if you got your eyes on the mission and you moonwalking backwards, then you don't have time to be dealing with the distractions. And what? So you ain't doing the mission perfect, but you perfectly imperfect. Are you hearing me? All right, listen to what I'm talking about. So do your mission, moonwalk to do your mission, and back it up. All right, y'all got that? Anybody else gonna back it up? Now, come on, Ken. I speak what mission into your life. Come on, Wisdom's Heart. I speak mission into your life. Come on, Sharon. I speak mission into your life. Come on, Private Banking. I speak mission into your life. Come on, BIU. Come on, Zante. I speak mission into your life. Anybody else gonna back it up? I said, anybody else gonna back it up? BIU. Anybody else gonna back it up? Let's go. All right, Linnell. I speak mission into your life. Anybody else gonna back it up? You a big bad woman, won't you? Back that thing up. And you ain't going nowhere with no mission unless you keep looking at it and working backwards from the mission. Back that thing up. All right. And here's my last bit of advice for the day. I got 4 minutes left about your money. You say, Brother Ricky, gonna wait till 4 minutes about money? Hey, if you do other things I'm talking to you about, you'll make plenty of money. You got a good marriage, you got a good mission. Ooh, making money become easy then. Yeah, you get along with your spouse and your mission is point blank to you and you stomp down like 4 flat tires, money gonna come easy. So Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven. So number one, aim high. So everybody put AH in the chat. AH. I'm finna teach you. This is the last thing I'm finna teach you, and then we're finna go to class. Hurry up, we gotta go real quick. Everybody put AH in the chat. AH. Aim high. You say, what do you mean aim high? In order for you to stay focused and to make the most money you can possibly make, all right? If you finna put your time into making some money, then make sure that you aim high. Why? Because you are not perfect. So that means what? Aim so high that if you fall 90% off, you still rich. Aim at being that kind of rich. So that what? Even if you mess up with your imperfections, because you got them, all right, and you do, in other words, if you want to be a millionaire, aim at being a 10 millionaire. Why? So if you aiming at 10 million and you get it 90% wrong, then you'll still have $1 million. Problem with us, with the average human being, is they won't aim high. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is like a man who found a treasure hidden in a field. And he said he went and sold everything that he got and bought the whole field. Why? Because it's the whole field that makes you money. Everybody put WF in the chat. When y'all leave out of here today, stop aiming low. All right. When you leave out of here today, stop aiming low. Make sure that everything that you do about money is that you aiming high. Stop aiming to be a hundredaire. Stop aiming to be a thousandaire. Aim to be a multimillionaire. So you can at least come out of there being a millionaire. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Because you're imperfect. And what you're doing ain't going to work 100%. And it's not necessary to work 100%. Just make sure that when you fall short of whatever it is that you're doing, that you still land on a high number. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is like a man seeking goodly pearls. And when he find a pearl, he sell everything he go purchase the pearl. Why? Because Jesus is like, I want y'all to aim at posterity. I don't want y'all aiming at prosperity. I want you to aim at stuff that lasts, at money that's so high until when you die, everybody behind you still got money. How you hear what I'm talking about? All right, we're finna start class right now. I'm sorry it took so much time. No, I ain't. I took so much time on marriage because if y'all don't get y'all relationships right first, it won't be hard for you to get your mission right. And it definitely won't be hard for you to get your money right. One of the reasons why we so rich is because me and Shantae like stomp down like 4 flat tires. That's why we're so rich. We down like 4 flat tires. That's one reason why we're so wealthy. Why? Because we really got each other's back. We got mental telepathy. My daughter that works with me, my son that works with me, my grandkids that work with me. We got mental telepathy. We down like that. And we on a mission. And it's hard, it's easy for us to reach our mission because we aim at millions, multi-millions. So we have to make, a few $1,000,000 a year because we aiming at multi-millions. We have never hit our goal. I never even got even close to what our goals are. But what? Our imperfection is okay because it landed us still on top of millions of dollars. And that's the way I want to teach you all. All right, come on over to class if you want to learn more. I'm going to start right now. I love you all. IMF, if you want to come to class, it starts right now. or rickthewealthcoach.com and click IMF. Class starts right now. I got to run. You have a beautiful day. Be blessed in the city. Be blessed in the field. I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. And remember, that stellar is as stellar does. I see some of you all in class right now. The rest of you have a spectacular day. All right. God bless you. God bless you. Have a great day. Love you too. Have a marvelous